so that we can be ready.
Okay.
I'll start recording as well. So that we can be ready. There we go. Selena, are we on? I think we are.
Yes, we're on.
Well, we have quorum. And it's
All
11.
right. Shall we call the meeting to agenda or call the meeting to order?
Yes, sir.
All right. We're called to order. Shall we start with the Pledge of Allegiance? Raise the flag if you got one. I pledge allegiance
With allegiance to the flag
to the flag
of the
of
United
the
States
United
of
States of
America,
America,
and to the republic for which it stands,
Stands
nation under
one
God,
nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just a heads up, I get to face a flag that was flown over the Capitol in my father's honor. It's in my
Oh, wow.
office. Let's see, do we have any recognitions or public comment?
No.
Great.
Marianne?
We'll go on with the consent agenda.
Yeah, we can go on to item number 1.
Okay, item 1 is the consent agenda. The following items are of a routine administrative nature. The board has been furnished with background material on each item and or has been discussed in a previous meeting. All items will be acted upon by one vote without being discussed separately unless separate discussion of any item is requested by a board member. Items withdrawn from the consent agenda for individual consideration will be heard in their normal sequence after the remainder of the consent agenda has been acted upon. All right, Radell?
Item 1 is consider board approval for the minutes of January 26, 2021. And then number 2 is the approval of financial reports for the month of January 2021.
Can we get a motion?
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you, Ricky. Can we get a second?
I second.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Staff reports.
All right, we're going to start with Celine.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. If you could enable that for me, Radell.
Done.
Here we go. So I just want to start off, we have been very event heavy at the beginning of this year. And it kind of started off with the RGV Partnerships virtual tour. I'd like to thank Mayor Boswell for participating in the virtual tour video that we had made with RG Vision. It's a 10-minute long video that features Mayor Boswell, Radell, Beverly, and Hedman. The video was shown for the event, and it talks about the many advantages that businesses have when they choose Harlingen for business, everything from our quality of life, education, healthcare, ongoing projects, and new projects. So it's a very informative 10-minute long video that we're definitely going to get a lot of use out of. And if you'd like to see it, if you didn't get to see it, it's on our YouTube page. And I'll be posting it on our website as well. Another event that we have coming up, we're going to be co-hosting an event with Red News, and it's going to be a regional panel discussion that's going to focus on the Rio Grande Valley. We currently have more than 10 panelists confirmed that span from Brownsville to Laredo. We have UTRGV, several developers, Brownsville Community Incentive Corporation, GBIC, McAllen EDC, City of Laredo, Restech, and a few others. We're working on getting more panelists for that discussion. And the different topics that will be discussed will be RGV primed for rapid growth, getting from idea to done, utilizing business resources, already going strong, industrial, automotive, and aerospace development in the area. So, this event is scheduled for March 25th. Registration is already open, and I can go ahead and share that with you. I'll go ahead and do a little bit of a write-up for our website and to share on social media once we have more confirmed panelists. It's going to be a 3-hour long discussion. So, and then we also have our job fair. I think you guys can remember last year we were planning for April with Workforce Solutions Cameron. We were sponsoring the event, but of course, because of COVID, we had to postpone. So we have recently been in discussion again, and we're planning for an April virtual job fair. This is going to be we're hoping to have at least 30 different employers. It's going to be a general job fair. Their past events have done very well virtually. They've had about 400 job seekers for one of their bigger events that they had in November. So we're hoping that we have the same kind of success, and we're scheduling that still looking at end of April, early May timeframe. We're continuing with our website marketing campaign. It's going very well. We're gathering a lot of social media attention on Facebook and LinkedIn. We are running a sponsored post on LinkedIn in order to target businesses and attract different prospects. I'm encouraging everyone to, as soon as you see that post pop up, we're doing it every 2 weeks. It's an 8-week campaign. To reshare the posts. The more clicks and likes that we get and visits to our website, the better we do with our Google ranking. So Google will reward us for, all these frequent visits and traffic to our website by placing us higher in the search. So we want more of that. We want more people to visit the website to check out what we have on there. We're constantly updating it. So there's a lot of good stuff there. Let's see. Aside from the events, we have various ads, always trying to use, the wide range of platforms to, share more about Harlingen and, places in front of people. So we are in various local publications. We have local commercials. Right now we have 5. There's an industrial commercial that features the Aerotropolis in our industrial park. There's a branding commercial. There's a commercial retail commercial. And then we also ran a February Love Our Locals campaign. And I could, let me see.
The Harlingen Economic Development Corporation would like to recognize the 2020 recipients of the Harlingen Emergency Loan Program for Small Business. These small businesses were impacted by the recent pandemic, and they are vital to our local community.
We are very appreciative of the fact that we got this help. The utility bills keep coming in. We were able to continue to keep our business open.
The Harlingen Economic Development Corporation's Emergency Loan Program is helping small businesses stay in business.
So that's just one of the commercials we have on Channel 4 and Estrella TV. There are 2 separate of these commercials, the Love Our Locals, because we weren't able to fill all of the help recipients in one 30-second commercial. We have, oops, sorry. And aside from, the print ads and commercials, we do have our digital campaigns that we're running, various marketing efforts in digital banners and geofencing. We're targeting specific areas, site selectors and industry leaders, and hoping, that, we're in their feed. Here's some examples of, where our digital banners are showing up in. So there's CNN Business and some Houston news sites. So we do have, that's going pretty well as far as, people seeing us at least. And then we do have some information as far as clicks and all of that goes, people actually visiting our website.
The Harlingen.
Let's see. I'm also working on our annual report. We decided to do something different this year. I'm doing, I'll go ahead and give you a little snapshot of what I created. It's just a really quick snapshot of 2020. So we include our taxable sales per capita, our key priorities, any commercial permits, housing reports. We're going to be getting some more information on here and including the Valley International Airport, the Free Trade Bridge at Los Indios. I already have the information, I just need to plug it in. This will be, just a front and back one sheeter that we could print out, and it will also be digital, on the website. And I'll have a QR code that'll expand to a larger PDF. So, and we can get that printed out if anyone would want to print it out, but we're trying, just to keep everything online. And that concludes my report. Oops.
Okay, thank you. Beverly?
Good morning. Good morning. Let me share my screen. One second. Okay. So thank you. Good morning. Thank you for giving me the time to briefly discuss some of the commercial development activities in Harlingen over the past few weeks. We've actually had a very busy, very productive and busy week, few weeks, few months, actually years. And so I wanted to just briefly talk to you about what's been going on. I've met with and spoke with multiple retail new to market businesses that are actually interested in expanding and starting a business in Harlingen. When those businesses call, I usually start by providing them Harlingen market data. That's usually what they're requesting, and other information. They need that in order to determine if Harlingen can sustain their business. Sometimes if they need, I also work with those businesses to identify possible sites. And so in this case, I am working with a couple businesses to determine possible sites, whether it's land for new construction or an existing building that can be redeveloped. So I continue to work with those different types of businesses calling in. Other businesses that have shown interest in Harlingen over the past few weeks actually include education, training type businesses, medical, back office, and even multifamily businesses looking to develop residential and multifamily lots in Harlingen. With projects, I continue to work on the different tasks related to those. Some of those we'll discuss in executive session later today. I've attended actually multiple events, including to learn about some new tools that they have to retrieve and use proper census data. That's really important, especially in
Did we lose all our staff?
I'm still here. I'm not sure what happened.
I think you froze. You froze up.
Yeah, Beverly froze. I'm not sure what.
Oh, I thought that was Beverly. Sorry, Celine.
Oh no, yeah, it's me. Who's the host?
Because Raudell's gone too.
Just got transferred to Dan.
I think it's Mary.
Yeah, Celine, you're not on mute. I think he kicked everybody out. So somehow we got to get Raudell and Beverly back on. Is Raudell the host?
No, he's not. He's off.
Dan, I think you're the host. I got a note that said that it had been transferred to you.
Correct.
So it transferred to me, so I'll stay on. Somehow we got to get Raudell and Beverly back on.
Let me find out what happened.
but they're not in the waiting room. Hey, Raudel, you're back on. There you are.
Our entire Wi-Fi network went down, including our phone system. So I apologize for that. But I'm glad to see you're still on. I'll make sure we're still on live stream. I think we are. Yep.
Yeah, your Wi-Fi started to freeze up every now and then.
First time it's done that. I guess there's a first time for everything.
Beverly is still not on.
She's coming back on.
Okay.
Keep going, Beverly.
I'm on my phone because the internet's not working. I guess yours is working on your computer, but I signed in from my phone. So I won't be able to share my screen from my phone. I think I was discussing just some of the multiple events that I've attended, the census information relating to, different data for Harlingen. I was also able to participate in the Harlingen Chamber Ambassador meeting this month, and then the Member of the Month presentation that they have. And this month's Member of the Month was one of Harlingen's top employer, Advanced Call Center. And they actually employ over 1,500 people. And I believe it's more than that now from a recent, job growth that they've had. But we, congratulate them for being a Member of the Month for the Harlingen Chamber Ambassadors or Chamber. I'm also attending this week. I've been attending the Texas Economic Development Council 2021 Legislative Conference, where I've been able to hear from other economic developers about important economic development issues and information, valuable resources. And then later this week, they'll be discussing legislative priorities and updates as it relates to the legislative session this year. Later next week, it was actually occurring today, but I wasn't able to attend, so I'll be viewing it later, a virtual National Healthcare and Medical Property Summit. And there I'll be able to basically learn about the development and design opportunities, reshaping medical and life sciences, and then investment opportunities that are in the market, the trends. In closing, I wanted to highlight the second economic impact survey that was launched by the Harlingen EDC about 2 weeks ago. It's been almost a year since COVID first created the first shutdown, and that affected our community and all of the US really. And since then, the Harlingen EDC was able to provide help by providing nearly $500,000 to about 50 small businesses in Harlingen with the help loan. This second survey will allow the EDC to evaluate and identify those challenges still facing small businesses and then what type of help they may still need. And so once we have all of that data, we'll be sharing it with the board probably later next month or at a later board meeting. So exciting things are happening in Harlingen. Even amongst the pandemic and the storm that happened last week, we're excited to continue to grow Harlingen and be here for both small businesses and primary employers to bring in more business to Harlingen. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Beverly.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Herman, are you on?
Yes, sir. I'm on my phone also. Good morning, everyone. Like Beverly said, it's been a busy month, particularly last week with the cold weather, trying to keep up with the existing businesses and how they went through this, weathered the storm. Most of the industrial customers were down Monday through Wednesday. They started operations on Thursday and they've been up and running since. So that's great. The Harlingen Industrial Park landscaping project, it's on its way. Again, we've been through a lot of hurdles, as I told you last month. The contractor ended up getting a subcontractor. We're hoping to finish the project within the next 60 to 90 days. Of course, the weather did not help the existing vegetation that we have there, the palm trees. So we're gonna have to basically replant everything. And then worked on a couple of projects, a couple of state leads and different projects that we will be talking about in executive session. And then, attended a couple of meetings. Actually, the beginning of February, the first in-person Site Selectors Guild Summit. It's a one-day summit in San Antonio. The Site Selectors Guild is an association of professional site selection consultants. So they provide industry and how the location strategy is going for different companies and corporations across the globe. So we had 6 participants that spoke on different sectors, including automotive, aerospace, and resource-based industries. Their great importance was to look at these sectors, but in particularly on first, second, and third tier suppliers to these sectors. Everything, depending on what it is, but everything from steel, metal, to wheels and different parts going into these industries. They also spoke about manufacturers making decisions on distribution, supply chain, and logistics. Specifically in supply chain, one of the big topics right now is reshoring and nearshoring. And does it make sense for these companies to come back to the US and or into Mexico with all that is and has been invested in overseas? They believe there's other options where they can go versus coming to North America. So, trying to stay on top of what's out there in the market and what's happening. I also attended the Institute of Certified Public Accountants for Mexico, and particularly for the state of Tamaulipas and Matamoros. Ms. Lorena Fernandez, lady from Harlingen, who we have been working with on different projects, particularly warehousing projects, different property that she owns in the city of Harlingen, and different ideas that she has, and how we can work together, being so close, one of the properties being so close to Los Indos Bridge. The topic there, I was one of their panelists, was on how we implemented the HELP program and how Harlingen, got in front and helped these local businesses during the challenging times that we saw in 2020. Of course, I also presented on advantages that Harlingen has, whether it's manufacturing, warehousing, distribution, land. Again, this was a good place for us to sit down and kind of do our commercial. A lot of these public accountants represent large industry in Mexico. So it's a good place for us to sit there and give them what Harlingen is all about and what we have to offer. And lastly, the Harlingen Manufacturers Association meeting was scheduled for the 18th, which was last week. Unfortunately, we had to cancel it. Our guest speaker was in Austin and of course had no power, internet, or anything. So we're postponing it for the 4th or the 11th of March. And so that is my report.
Thank you. I'll be brief because my information is on the web. It is in your packet. It was sent out last Friday. But what I did in the report this time was basically look at our, not only our strategic plan, but look at our program of work for this year. And so I basically listed the goals, and there's 6 goals. The first one being investing in human capital through specific workforce development and training activities. Beverly touched up on some of that, but we've had at least 3 different organizations that are higher education institutes that are looking at different options for expanding into Harlingen. So we've been working on that in the last couple of weeks. Obviously, last week, actually TSTC lost power, and we didn't have power in this building, so we were all working remote from our homes for those who had power and had internet. So it was a nice challenge. Goal number 2 is increase Harlingen's industrial base. Germán just went into some of the work that we've been working on. And then I've got some other comments related to the Port of Harlingen and their efforts to find some additional funding, and what we've been working with Walker Smith and those other folks over the last couple of weeks. I was also noted that I have been elected as secretary for the Rio South Texas Economic Council. And as such, I'm on the executive committee, and we've been working on a few items there. I'm on the Team Texas Advisory Board. Team Texas is an organization that basically is a collaboration of statewide economic development organizations that are doing nothing but marketing the state. And so in your packet, you have a calendar of events. Some of them are going to be in person. Germán already experienced one of those in-person activities last 2 weeks ago. And some of these are still going to be virtual, but we're going to be fairly busy with Team Texas as well. And then obviously we've been working with Project River 2, which we'll discuss in executive session. Goal number 3 was to increase retail sales tax revenues in retail establishments. The pandemic has actually created some challenges, but also some opportunities. And so we're working with some of those folks, and Beverly touched up on some of that. Goal number 4, increase healthcare facilities and offerings. Over the last few weeks, we've been working with Rio Grande Valley Partnership and trying to start up Biomed RGV, which is basically a focus on bioscience and that industry, and trying to bring in jobs related to servicing our healthcare facilities and a lot of the equipment that our healthcare facilities have, and also procuring companies that are focused solely on basically servicing our healthcare facilities here in the Rio Grande Valley. Number 5 is advocate for transportation infrastructure improvements. We were going to be on a virtual Capitol visit with I-69, the Alliance for I-69 Texas. Unfortunately, because of everything that happened last week, that was postponed. And this week, most of the legislators that are out there are in hearings trying to make up for last week. TEDC is actually doing a legislative conference right now all week long. We had a legislative forum for the South Texas Regional Group, and unfortunately, none of the legislators were able to show up. But we did have Jennifer Shepard from the Alliance for I-69. We had a gentleman from the Port to Plains Transportation Group talking about what they're doing in terms of advocacy We had some, William Yarnell, who's our legislative consultant, actually give a briefing on the update. And then Mayor Pete Sines got on also and talked about the 3 different corridors that Laredo is working on in terms of transportation. But we also talked about broadband and some of the other issues that the legislators are going to be facing. And obviously ERCOT and the energy crisis that was kind of peeled back over the last week is another thing that we discussed. Aside from that, goal number 6 was to develop a robust entrepreneurship and innovation hub. We have a survey out right now to the small business community. It's on our website. We're trying to get folks to give us some feedback on what's going on with them since the beginning of the pandemic. Basically an update on the original survey that we sent out. Once we get some enough responses to really kind of see a pattern, then we'll come back to you as the board and give some recommendations on what we can do to help the small business community continue to make their way through this crisis. I've put in some other information in the packet, and I'll leave it at that. Again, it's public information. It's for everybody to see, including labor market reports and I-69 updates and that type of thing. So with that, I am done with my report. And we're ready for item number 3, which is executive session.
Okay.
Unless anybody has any questions.
All right, let's move on to executive session. Executive session pursuant to Chapter 551, Subchapter D, VTCA Government Code, Section 51.072 regarding the purchase, lease, or value of real estate. If the deliberation in an open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the position of the Development Corp. of Harlingen, Inc. in negotiations with a third person regarding some of the following projects and/or contemplated or pending litigation or matters for legal advice is requested of the attorney on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the board under the Texas Disciplinary Rules Provision conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with the Act, Section 551.071 of the Texas Open Meetings Act, and/or executive session pursuant to Chapter 551. Subchapter D, VTCA Government Code, Section 551.078 regarding commercial and financial information from business prospects with which the board is conducting economic financial information from business prospects, which the board, I think I just reread that, sorry, conducting economic development negotiations and/or to discuss or deliberate financial or other incentives, there we go, relating to the following projects. Project River 2, Project Tyler, Project Breeze, and Project Sunroof. Take it away, Riddell.
Chairman, I'll motion to move into executive session.
I second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Ricky. Motion carries.